Here is a sample position paper on the issue about giving of homeworks, or should homework be mandatory. So that is the title of the position paper. So here in the introduction of the writer, obviously, so he gives first a short background about the issue regarding the homework. So we can read it like this. So I can almost see many students nodding along with me as I ask this question. Younger generations, overloaded with home tasks and numerous assignments, have already raised this issue many times. Yet homework remains mandatory. Now, uh, he gives a question, or a rhetoric question, about is it fair, or should it be cancelled. Then after this one, he gives his position, or his argument, or the thesis statement. So this is now the thesis statement of the writer. I believe that homework should not be viewed as a mandatory part of education for several reasons. So he mentioned here several reasons. So particularly those reasons will be discussed in the body. Alright, so here in the body we have here 4 paragraphs. So we could also notice here the transitional devices. We have first, second, another argument, and finally. So that's the last reason that he's going to discuss. So we can read as well about the discussion in his body on the reasons why he believes that homework should not be viewed as mandatory part of education. So for him, in his body, let us read. So first, children spend 7 hours every single work day at school. That is a huge chunk of life, and with homework added on top of these hours, a child is left with no time to live his life to the fullest, socialize, or grow in other areas. Second, sitting at your desk solving problems does no good for your health. Kids need time to get outside, have some fun, join a football league, or ride their bikes with friends around the block. Otherwise, children will be very smart but surprisingly weak physically. Another argument against this position is that homework is not always the best way to obtain knowledge quality-wise. Students tend to ask their parents or siblings for help whenever facing difficulties. Busy parents not always willing to spend extra time explaining school material to their little ones, solve the problems themselves, aiming to have more time for family, not lessons. As a result, the child will have the homework done, but that's really not his work. So the whole idea of dedicating time to self-education is lost here. Finally, knowing that after classes you would still have to work at home makes a kid less concentrated at school. This results in short attention spans and difficulty to concentrate on something for too long. So that is the whole body of the position paper of the writer. So those are the several reasons in which he mentioned in his thesis statement, or his argument, about his stand or position about the giving of homework, or should homework be mandatory. So now in the conclusion, we can notice in his conclusion that there is a transitional device which prepares as well for the closing sentences of the writer in his position paper. So the closing sentences would be able to be transpired as the conclusion. So let's read his conclusion. All in all, homework should rather be an option. Students understanding that they are left behind at some subjects will take their time to go over the material at home. However, in other cases, they should have time after school for other activities. So for our overall analysis in this essay, the essay has no links to trustworthy sources, yet it describes all the main points quite clearly. So some statistical data to support the ideas would be good. Yep, maybe he could add some, but not necessarily vital, since the main points are being clearly expressed. Meaning to say that the several reasons here that he mentioned in his thesis statement is well discussed in his body, paragraph by paragraph. No, we have first reason in the first paragraph using the transitional device first. Then we have another one, the transitional device second, signals that this is another reason. Then another argument. So meaning to say that this paragraph is another reason about his thesis statement on his position about the issue. And also the finally is the transitional device that signals that this is as well another paragraph for another reason on his position. So the thesis is clearly supported by 4 different arguments, making the position of an author quite bright and clear. You can actually access the document or the full document if you wanted to access the document here in this URL, but there is also a link that I will give you towards the document, so you can just access it.